Hello, family. In this question, we have x squared minus 3x minus 4 equals to 0, and we are asked to solve for x. So obviously, this is quadratic. You can either use a quadratic formula or you can factorize. Ne? But the quickest way here is to just factorize. X squared will break into x and x. And then minus 4 will break into minus 3 and positive 1 equals to 0. So the reason I chose minus 4 is so that I'll have minus 4x when I multiply here. And then here I'm going to have positive 1x. So minus 4 and positive 1 will give me the middle term. So I always check by multiplying to make sure that I have indeed factorized properly. If not, I'll keep on switching signs and all that. It's sort of a trial and error thing. All right. And then we have x minus 4 equals to 0, or x plus 1 equals to 0. We are using a zero product principle here. You always split your brackets after you have factorized. Then you have x equals to 4, or x equals to minus 1. Okay? If you don't set each bracket equal to 0, you are leaving marks behind. Don't do that. Let's go to the next question. On the next question, we have 2x cubed minus 3x squared equals to 5x. Okay, then we have 2x cubed minus 3x squared. We need to bring all the terms to one side, so the positive 5 will become the minus 5 on the left, minus 5x. And then we can see that between all these three terms, there's a common factor of x. So we need to factor out the common x. So if I take x out, I'm left with 2x squared minus 3x minus 5 equals to 0. And here, think of this as a bracket as well, right? So remember, once we have brackets, we can equate each bracket to 0. So the first, we know that, okay, I'm just going to start with this one because I'll still have to work it out. The first one equals to 0, or the second one, which is x, equals to 0. So this one is our final answer, but the other one, we still need to keep on working. Right. So in this question, you can either still use the quadratic formula, where your a is 2, your b is negative 3, and your c is minus 5. Or we can factorize this. Ne? So I'm going to factorize it. The 2x squared will break into 2x and x. Ne? And then the minus 5 will break into, let's see, minus 5 and then plus 1. Right. The thing is, I already mastered this, ne? But it's sort of a trial and error thing. To make sure you have factorized properly, I always do this. These two and those ones, when I multiply them and add, they must give me this guy here. So here I see I'll have minus 5x, and then the outside I see I'll have 2x. Minus 5x plus 2x gives me minus 3x. If you get the middle term, you know you've factorized properly. If you don't, you need to reswitch your things and or break or all that until you get the middle term. Right? Awesome. Hope that makes sense. Then now I have my brackets. I can easily break them. So I have 2x minus 5 equals to 0, or x plus 1 equals to 0. And then you have 2x equals to 5. You can see that x will be 5 over 2 when you divide by 2 both sides. And this side will be x equals to minus 1. Right? And those are our final answers, ne? For that question. So we can move on, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so here we have 3 in bracket x plus 11 equals to minus 5 plus 2x plus 3 squared. So we need to expand everything. So I'll multiply the 3 in both the brackets. So here I'll have 3x plus 33 is equals to minus 5 plus 2. Here I'm going to have x plus 3 and another x plus 3, right? Because of the square. The square just means we repeat the bracket twice. Okay, let's keep on going. You have 3x plus 33 is equals to minus 5 plus 2. The brackets will multiply to have x squared plus 3x plus another 3x, which we can just say plus 6x here, because 3x plus 3x is 6x. So plus 6x, then plus 9. Right. And then let's do this. We have 3x plus 33 equals to minus 5 plus, now let's FOIL the 2 into the bracket. We can see we're going to have 2x squared plus 12x plus 18. Right, don't rush this expression. It's the one that cost learners marks. You need to be careful here. All right. Now, let us see. I'm going to bring everything to the right. So here I'm going to have minus 5 plus 2x squared plus 12x plus 18. Then the positive 3x will become minus 3x. The positive 33 will become minus 33. Now, adding like terms. Let's add like terms. Now, we're going to have 2x squared plus 9x, because this one and that one gives us 9x, ne? Minus 20, because this one added to that one and added to that one will give us minus 20. All right. If you took it to the left, it was still okay. We're going to end up with minus 2x squared minus 9x plus 20. You're still fine. So in this question, we are indeed going to have to use the quadratic formula, because this is not a rational trinomial. No? This is not a rational trinomial. I can show you how I realized that quickly. No? The b squared minus 4ac must give us a perfect square if it's a trinomial, no? That can be factorized using brackets. So you can see that our b is 9, so 9 squared minus 4, our a is 2, our c is minus 20. Let's punch that into our calculator and see. Punching that into the calculator will give us 241. And then we can see that, okay, we're getting 241. Therefore, 241 is not a perfect square, right? Perfect squares are 1, 4, 16, 25, 36, 49, and so on. 241 is not a perfect square. Okay, and then now we're going to have 0 is equals to, remember we're doing quadratic now. It's going to be x equals to negative b. You write your formula down. B squared minus 4ac all over 2a, right? Then we're going to have negative, your b is how much? It's 9. Plus minus, the nice thing is you already computed b squared minus 4ac here. So you can just put it in here to say 241 all over 2. And then what is your a? Our a is 2, right? And then punching that on your calculator, we'll end up with x equals to negative 9 plus 241 over 4, or x equals to negative 9 minus square root of 241 all over 4. Ne? And then let's see. We have negative 9. Negative 9 plus square root of 241 over 4. We round off to 2 decimal places as per the instructions, but always read your instructions on the question paper. They can change. Ne? Some curricula says 1, some says 3, ne? And so on. Okay. and then we're going to have negative 6.13, and that is our solution. All right, perfect. And then we're going to do inequalities. We have x minus 7 is bigger or equals to 18. This section, my experience is this, ladies and gentlemen. Learners struggle when we get here, and I want to focus because this is a very, very simple thing to do. Ne? Just focus, just go with me, you'll see. Okay, so obviously we need to expand the brackets. So I'll have x squared minus 7x, right? Because I have to multiply there, is bigger or equals to 18. And then we have to always bring everything to the what? To the left. When you do inequalities, bring everything to the left always, guys. Some learners take things to the right and they end up being confused. Ne? Bring everything to the left. Because when you read, you always read from right to left. So it's going to be easier. Make sure that on inequalities, everything is on the left. So the 18 will become minus 18. Then we'll have bigger or equals to 0. All right? That's sorted. And then this, you can either get your critical values by using the quadratic formula or by factorization. Ne? So, but the quicker way will be to factorize it. But if you don't feel comfortable with factorization yet, you can use the quadratic formula. It's allowed. Okay, and then you write your critical values. CVs for critical values. It's x equals to, I'm sure we can see that it's going to be x equals to minus 2 or x equals to positive 9. Because here I'm going to have x minus 9 equals to 0 or x plus 2 equals to 0. Then moving things, the values to the numbers to the right, we see that we get these two critical values. Ne? And then now we're going to have 3 regions. Ne? We're going to have 3 regions. I'm going to write them all. I'll say regions. And this is where our solutions lies. Ne? You can agree that we're going to have numbers that are less than negative 2. So x will be less than or equals to negative 2. We're going to have numbers that are in between negative 2 and 9. So that is the second region. Eh? Negative 2 is less than or equals to x, which is less than or equals to 9. And we're going to have numbers that are bigger than or equals to 9. So always you write this smaller one and then the bigger one. You know that there will be numbers that are on the left of the smaller one. So we're saying x is less than or equal. We use the sign the way it was used. If it had an equal at the bottom, we put it. Make sense? And then, obviously, there will be numbers in between the two numbers, between negative 2 and 9. So we write them. And then the numbers that are bigger than 9. But here we need to select which one is indeed the solution. And we're going to erase the others. Ne? So what we're going to do is this. Ne? We pick numbers in each region. For example, x less than minus 2, I'll pick negative 3 there. Ne? And then here I'll pick 0. You can pick a as long as it's less than that number. For example, for x minus negative 2, I can pick negative 5. It's because x less than negative 2 is any value that is less than negative 2. Doesn't matter which one you pick. X bigger than 9, I'll pick 10. Ne? Okay, obviously you're using a pencil here, guys. Ne? You haven't decided. Now let's do this. If I put negative 3 here and negative 3 there and press it on a calculator, let's see what we're gonna get. Negative 3, negative 3. I mean negative 3, negative 9, and then another bracket, negative 3 plus 2. We get 12. Ne? The answer here will be 12, and 12 is bigger, so we get 12 here. Ne? When we press on a calculator. When we press this on a calculator, we get 12. And we can see that 12 is bigger than 0, which means this region is accepted. I'm sure I made sense, ladies and gents. So that region is accepted. Ne? We're going to take it. This one is accepted. And then let's take 0 and see. If I put 0 here and put 0 there, we're going to have 0 minus 9, and then we're going to have 0 plus 2, right? So we're going to have minus 18. Is minus 18 bigger than 0? That's false, right? So this region is out. All right, and then let's put 10 in and see. So I'm going to replace the 0 with 10. So I'm going to have 10 minus 9 and 10 plus 2. And I get 12 again, which is bigger than 0. Yeah? So which means this region will be accepted. So now, remember here you were using a pencil. Now you write your answers nicely. You say, okay, the regions are x is less than or equals to minus 2. You always put or. If it's separate, two separate regions. Remember we had 3 regions. We always separate the regions by or. So we're going to say or x is bigger or equals to 9. And that's it with this inequality. All right. And that's it with this video, ladies and gentlemen. Catch me on the next video on simultaneous equations. Tango.